Hey, let's make this fast and short as possible. I don't take pleasure in calling out Wuthering Waves, but at some point you just have to admit that the 4 stars that they're giving to the players, especially the crafting ones, are actually pretty damn bad. And I think that comes to no surprises at all. My first thoughts to all of this when I see all the kits in the new weapons right here, we're gonna go through all of it. I mean, we're not gonna go through all the weapons because the kits that they're giving us to these weapons are all pretty much the same. They all have similar kits, and you see attack percent, and they also have like the same infos as well, dealing damage to enemies with negative statuses. We'll get through that. I really want to talk about this whole negative statuses, and it sounds pretty damn bad. Let's go back to the top. But before we get to the critical part, I'm just gonna say that getting all these 4 stars being bad in Wuthering Waves is actually okay. And to be frank, I don't care about the 4 stars. I never use the 4 stars other than the ones that have energy regen, which we already have. We have Mercato for the Gauntlet users, we have Variation for the Rectify user, we have Cadenza for the gun user, and last but not least, we have Overture, which is for the sword user. And I don't believe we have any for the Broadblade. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's Discord or something. I forgot the name. And of course, we have the Black Shores weapon, which is actually quite good and very versatile weapon to be used for even DPS and supports user as well. Like the Rectifier from the Black Shores is actually able to be used for Verena if you're able to pull it off. And I did try to cover some weapons in my other videos. I'll put a link if you ever want to watch it. But if I'm being honest right here, I don't think it matters that much to get all the 4 stars weapon. And that is because I've only used 5-star weapons for my characters. And that is because of the pity system in the Wuthering Waves. The pity system is just so good. It's a guarantee for all the 5-star weapons. I've always tried to recommend people, if they ever want to pull for the 5-star characters that uses that limited weapons, just pull for the weapon right away. There is no scam. They even have separate currency for the weapon banner. They just improve the banner itself as well. And also when you pull for the 5-star weapon and you couldn't make it in time to get the 5-star weapon that you want, it's okay. You only merely building pity for that weapon. Soon after, when the weapon gets a rerun, you just go for it again. There's no rush. I do agree that these weapons they should have been attack and energy regen. That would have been so much better and could actually be used by a lot of other characters. A Shopkeeper, let's just give an example. Her 5-star weapon sucks. It's actually just a huge bait. You don't really need it. You should definitely use the variation a lot more because it's easier to get as well. And if you have Verena in the team, Verena can also use the Black Shores weapon, which you can actually get it for free if you play the Black Shores event. And then there's like a 5-star weapon argument where you can actually get it for free. For example, like you should always choose the sword for the free standard 5-star weapon that you can just get from leveling up to rank 25 or 50, I believe. I don't actually remember, but it is a free 5-star weapon that you can get easily in the game. And that is my reason to why this 4-star weapon, especially craftable weapon, doesn't need to be good. It really doesn't matter anymore. Oh, I forgot to mention that the standard 5-star weapon, they have a different banner where you can actually guarantee the standard 5-star weapon that you want to get. You can just lock which weapon that you want. You want the guns, you just lock it, and then you pull for the standard weapon. Of course, I do recommend that Kuro Games to just give more standard pulls for free through playing the games, through leveling up characters and all that stuff, because that's what Genshin did. And if you really want to beat Genshin's generosity by making your own game a lot more generous to your player base, you should definitely add that into the game. That's about all that I want to say here. But now let's look into the kits of this weapon. These new weapons that are so bad. Why is it so bad? And first things first, attack percent. We already mentioned this. It's just terrible. All the other weapons as well, they have attack and attack percent. We just don't need that anymore. A lot of these new characters, a lot of characters that we want to really upgrade. Even Yanlin, which is a sub DPS, she also needs energy regen quite a bit. And energy regen will actually help her rotation so much compared to attack percent. But clearly, Kuro doesn't really care about the 4-star weapon itself, knowing that you can actually get the 5-star weapon a lot easier for all these characters that you care. And that's okay. But we'll check about the weapon skill right now. Now, this is what actually troubles me quite a bit. As I stated before, dealing damage to enemies with negative statuses increase wielders attack by let's just call it 8%, because you're gonna, it's a craftable weapon. And for those people that play during the 1.0 launch, they definitely have gotten a lot of those rocks where you can craft more weapons, right? So you're definitely gonna get a ton of this stack up into your storage. It's an insane amount in my storage currently. Just stay there, and I can't even use it because all these weapons are ass. Now again, dealing damage to enemies with negative status. What is negative status? I'm worried about this because Genshin Natlan Now, this is gonna trigger a lot of people because I know you don't like me comparing Wuthering Waves to Genshin, especially when Genshin already done this firsthand. And it's okay, like I really don't really care too much about this, but it does worry this negative status enemy will have armor that you can't beat by just using only normal characters. You actually need Rinasita characters or Rinasita weapons or something like that. That just troubles me. And maybe you can beat it, but it might take a bit longer because your characters are normal characters from outside of the region. So Genshin Natlan, the new area, have these new enemies that are in the color purple, and they have armor. The armor can be taken away by using Natlan characters and using their skills, the Night Soul points. It's just awful. It's a bad mechanic that you actually need to pull for the characters in the new region to actually beat the enemies. Like, you can use the normal enemy that you already have. You can use Nubula and all that stuff, but it just takes so long. The armor doesn't go away that easily. It's a terrible system, and I really do hope that Wuthering Waves doesn't copy that part of the game, because it forces you to break F2P in a way, and it kind of shows how paywall the game can be. Even though, yes, I know Kuro games again are very generous games, and they give 5-star characters for free. 5-star weapons are easier to get, but this will ruin their reputation in some sort of ways. And I generally just don't want that to happen to Kuro games, especially when they're just starting to get good. But again, I say again so much. Again, like, there's really not an issue right here. These are all craftable weapons, and we already have a lot of alternative weapons that we can use in this game. So the only issue is just the dealing damage to enemies with negative status. The whole negative status is going to be a bit controversial to discuss at the moment of time, because it is still very vague what they're showing here, and I hope to see more. And of course, if there's more to this whole negative status, and if I'm wrong about the whole Natlan region being similar to Wuthering Waves, if it's being similar to Natlan region in Genshin Impact, I would definitely make a video out of it, because that is something very important to discuss. Lastly, they also give us this Brant poster for like Wuthering Waves version 2.0. See you in 5 days. Kind of exciting. Brant looks pretty damn good, and maybe, who knows, maybe he might be the next 5-star character that will be released in 5.1, in 2.1. Excited to see that. As always, if you enjoy watching this video, please consider to like and subscribe. That would definitely help the channel. See ya.